Hey folks, I'm Matzo, and today we jump into the world of orange dot clicking, which is also known as Kovaaks aim training. Over the course of this video, watch me become less bad over a period of a month and see what I have to show for it. A wise man once said, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. Of course, that wise man is Gandalf the Grey. He said those words right after the Fellowship entered Moria. He wanted to say that we can't choose our challenges, but we can choose our response. We can choose what to do with the time we have. So I decided to choose wisely. I chose to spend my time aim training. I know, a very noble use of my precious time. Time which I have very little of because I do work full time. I have other obligations outside of work, and also I do content creation. Check out my stream. With the little time I have, I wanted to spend some more time on important pursuits such as becoming better at FPS games. And one of the things I thought of was, well, why not make a challenge out of this? How do I do that? I saw a video by Apple where he explained the benefits of aim training, and he had a playlist in the video, a Kovaaks playlist, which had 10 exercises, each of them lasting 1 minute. So I was like, that sounds doable. Let's do that for a while. I took the playlist, saw that it would take me about 10 to 15 minutes per day to do all the exercises, so why not do it for a month and see what happened. After a few days, I added a little bit of a twist, which is to try and reach the 50th percentile or to be in the top half of each exercise, because while I'm doing a challenge, why not make it a competition as well, to see how I do against others. There we go, 10 to 15 minutes a day, 30 days. What did my routine look like? So every day, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night, sometimes after work, sometimes whenever, I would sit down and do these 10 exercises. The exercises were smooth thin strafes. It's basically, as you can see, a longish thin orange piece of candy. I don't know, what do you call it? That goes up and down, left, right, wherever, and you have to follow it. Basically tracking training. At a bit of a distance, unpredictable. The second exercise was close long strafes, which is a thicker piece of candy that comes really close towards you and goes around in really, really long strafes, as the title would suggest. And what you had to do here was basically move your arm in a much more exaggerated manner to be able to follow. This exercise required a lot of moving my arm around, and at first I struggled with it because I would always run out of mousepad real estate. The third exercise was various static, which basically is a flicking exercise. Something when I started out, I thought I was decent, but still kind of bad. Lots of room to improve, but I didn't improve as much as I wanted to. But then I noticed that I actually wasn't flicking. I saw a video about that as well, but when I started actually flicking, like throwing my mouse around, the results improved. So various static is just clicking on dots in 3 different phases. Next up was SVGS. So you had your heavy, medium, and light. Each of them was present on the screen, running around, strafing, jumping for I think 20 seconds, and you had to be as accurate as you could. After that, it was zip track. That was basically following somebody that's on a zip line. This exercise was actually pretty cool. You can see from my beginning that it was really all over the place. So basically I had no tracking ability. My hand was not smooth at all, but through time, through exercise, through focusing on different things, like focusing on keeping my crosshair on the ball instead of trying to following the ball, being a bit more aggressive, let's put it that way, trying to jump onto the ball, and being more proactive with the following, the score increased and it actually became one of my favorite exercises. After that, it was pad track, which is basically you trying to follow somebody that's jumping on a pad. You have to track them. It's a pretty cool exercise, I would say. Forces you to go all the way up and then down and trying to feel the bounce, and I would say it improved my pad tracking tremendously. And after that, it's under track. So you're basically trying to track somebody that is under you. So you are now on the pad and jumping above, sideways, diagonal, wherever. And you're trying to keep your crosshair on the target. It was also a pretty cool exercise in which I think I improved a lot. I really liked it. After that, we're coming to light dash tracking. So light dash tracking was basically just trying to kill a light as fast as possible. It's not like SVGS where they have a certain amount of time, which is 20 seconds. This was, if you could headshot it, you could kill it in like 10 seconds. You could kill more and more. This was a more realistic scenario. All you had to do was try and aim as best as you could while the light was jumping around, dashing, being a general nuisance, and as lights usually are for people who main heavies like I do. And that was light tracking. After that, it was hop switch. That was a combination of tracking, flicking, and target switching. And at the beginning, it was pretty difficult for me. My hand, or my crosshair, was going all over the place, but after a while, I kind of got into it, got into the groove, and managed to start switching much faster, even killing the balls even before they would reach the ground when they would spawn. So I would say I improved there greatly, and it kind of increases your general awareness and maybe attack in the whole game. It really makes you go from target to target. You don't have a lot of time if you want to improve. And last but not least, Smooth Sphere. An unpredictable tracking exercise where you had to follow a small orange ball. It's going front to back, left to right, whichever direction, and you just have to follow it as best as you can. I think the biggest breakthrough I achieved with that one was when similar to Zip Track, was when I started focusing on keeping my crosshair on the ball instead of trying to follow the ball. It's weird to explain. I don't know how to put it else, but it's not. Beforehand, I would be kind of following behind, but now I was like just focusing, okay, put the crosshair on the ball, put the crosshair on the ball. Kind of, I guess, keeping my focus more on the ball. After the exercise overview, let's go into the results recap. Let's see how I started and let's see how I finished. Smooth, thin strafes. Man, this was looking rough. I could barely keep my crosshair on it. It takes me 3 hours to adjust and start moving in the right direction. It looks like my hand is stuck in some points, or like I cannot move properly. I kind of do follow it, but it's really not good. And there we are after day one. We are below the 25th percentile, so we're 49,000 out of 60,000. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And then on the final day of the challenge, you can see that my aim is still a bit glitchy, but it's much faster, much more responsive, and I managed to stick to the target a bit better. It's a bit smoother, I do smaller movements, and overall definitely an improvement. And as you can see, we're deeply in the 50th percentile, 15,000 out of 62,000, so I would say that was a good one. Mission complete. Let's go on to the next one, which is close long strafes. It was looking pretty rough, like my mouse was all over the place. There was absolutely no smooth tracking or dragging or whatever. It was just like wrestling with a slippery eel. That's what it felt like, I guess. It was too bad. It was really bad. We were like 812 out of 862, so that was not even the 10th percentile, I would say. So we were really bad. But jumping over to the final day, the final exercise, I did it multiple times on the last day because I was close to the 50th percentile, so I was trying to do my best. You can see this one is much smoother, much more quicker, much more responsive, and I'm keeping my crosshair pretty well on the thing, even though it was not my best. And you can see that we're deeply within the 50th percentile, better than the half that is 50th percentile. We're in the top half, we're good. Next one was very static. Oh boy, where do I begin with this one? This was pretty wild. Flicking for the sake of it, I guess, overshooting every single thing. It was what it was like at the time, 20th percentile, let's say. So not too bad, but still pretty rough. Let's check out how we did on the final day of the challenge. Did we improve in any way, shape, or form? A lot less overshooting, a lot more stable, and also being quicker and more precise. I would say that there is a definite improvement visible here, firmly in the 50th percentile, 18,000 out of 43,000. That's a good one. After that, we're going to SVGS. Going into SVGS, on the first day was interesting because I really didn't know what to expect. It was obvious that I have to keep my crosshair on the thing, but I really had no idea how to do it. So you can see that I was ending my aim, going left, right, somewhere, nowhere, aiming at the belly button, aiming at the, not really trying to go for the head, not really trying to go for the torso, and in the end, trying really or failing really hard at following. As you can see, there are 14,000 entries. We're 13,148, so not something to brag about really at the bottom itself. But then at the end, again, tracking is much better, much smoother. Looking at the difference, it is really something. Staying on target, being there to hit it, I don't know. When looking at this footage, it does look much better at the end. Even though I'm still having problems with resetting my mouse and things of that nature when things strafe a lot. We've, at the last day, really dropped off. So I tried it again. I don't know what was happening to me. But then you can see at the end the result. We're firmly in the 50th percentile. Well, I wouldn't say firmly, but I had to do it multiple times to try and reach it to see. And as you can see on the last try, it was boom, flew all the way up. New high score, new session best. We're like 5,000 out of 15,000. There was one last push for the final day of aim training. Then we get on to zip track, which became my favorite exercise, but at the beginning it was very rough. It seemed like I couldn't move in a straight line without jerking the cursor around for some reason. It gets better the longer you go, but you can see when we finished the first round, it was, well, 25th percentile though. But I got stuck here for a while, and when I look at the last round that I did, it's a night and day difference. It's still a bit jerky, but I'm able to follow much smoother. The crosshair might not be aiming on the dot, but it is much better. And as you can see, the results, we are almost at the 75th percentile, and we are 4,000th out of 16,000 entries. It is a very huge improvement, as you can see in the gameplay. Next up that was going on was pad track. And for pad track, the first one was rough. very rough. I think that's the thing I say most often, rough, and that's how I would describe it. I don't know, what am I looking at? What am I trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? How does this even work in my head? It was something. I was trying to do something, not sure what exactly it was. Maybe the last 15 seconds of the round actually become better, make more sense, but other than that, it was just barely holding on to dear life. I don't know if that is even the 10th percentile. We're 11,000 out of 12,000, so yeah, that is pretty bad. But if we look at the last day, much smoother. Keeping the thing on the ball, focusing on the ball, following the trajectory of the ball, moving in sync with it, much smoother, much better. It's looking the way it should. It's closer to what you think aiming for this would be, and I can really see that in my gameplay as well, following things of that nature. Of course, it's not my best, but it's still in the 50th percentile. I did a much better high score the day before. Almost 70, reaching the 75th percentile without any problem. And we're 2,000 out of 13,000, so I would say that it is very good. The improvement is visible. And next one we're gonna go to is under track, which, as I've mentioned, is kind of became one of my favorite exercises. The first one was you could hit the thing, but moving across and focusing above and things of that nature. I guess anything that involved me moving my arm really quickly and being very decisive with my movements was a big no-no for me at the beginning. It took me like 3 tries to refocus or recenter my aim on the target itself. And after the first round, it was... It's always like that at the end. It becomes a bit better. I guess my arm and my brain gets used to it, but still, it's not looking good. We were 14,000 out of 15,000, so the scores speak for themselves. But then we switch over to our final day of the challenge, and you can see that my mouse movements are much smoother. I've decreased the DPI in the meantime, of course. And I do basically recenter my aim with just one flick. That's a huge win in this regard. So yeah, focusing is much better, tracking is much better. It's all quicker, smoother, faster. The results, I guess, also speak for themselves. In this way, we're above the 75th percentile. It's 3,000 out of 16,000. new high score set the last day. On to the next one. And we have light dash tracking. As I said, this is trying to murder the light. And the first day was, I don't know, also very, very interesting. As you can see, being very slow, not able to focus on the target properly. When it dashes, it takes me more than a few moments to recenter my aim, try and focus back on it. And it's really all over the place in regards to tracking and being on target. So you can see that we were 675th out of 835, which is, I mean, decent for first try, but not really something that is to be proud of. And as you can see, on the final day of the exercise, we're able to focus much better. Headshots are going way better. And for the first round, I dropped off really low. Because I don't know, I think I was going more for headshots, trying to be even more precise. So you can see from the over 75th to the 25th, and I was like, okay, let's try and do it the way we know how to do it, not just focus on the head. And I think the results speak for themselves. We climbed back up really quickly over the 50th percentile, and I was like, okay, let's not mess about anymore. As you can see, we are over the 75th. We're 200th out of 900. Next one, hop switch. First day was, I remember it was so tough. Looking at it, it seems so slow. Like, what am I doing here? Why is it so hard to focus and aim? It's going all over the place. But the funny thing is, you know, your brain adjusts, you become better, your muscle memory becomes better. It was hard to switch targets to just focus on one thing. And the result of the first round was, wow. We're 11,600 out of 11,900. Fast forward to the last day of the exercise, after it became one of my favorite exercises because it was fairly stimulating and you really had to focus and jump around and be on your A game to become even better. We are 4,000 out of 12,000, reaching 60th, 70th percentile. The focus is there. We're jumping from target to target, following the targets much better, killing them before they even reach the bottom. On to the last one, smooth sphere. I don't know what to say about smooth sphere. First time I tried it, it was so bad. Like, I'm not even on the same screen as the ball when I'm trying to follow it. It was really hard for me to follow it, to track it. First day was very hard. And my arm would tense up and my muscles and everything. It was a really demanding exercise. 54,000 out of 58,000. So not very good, you could say. And then on the last day, it didn't go as well. You'll see by the scores. I mean, I'm tracking a bit better. It's smoother, but the scores are not in the 50th percentile. So that was the exercise that I didn't manage to reach the 50th percentile. So I tried a couple of times. It was really up and down, all over the place. One time I do good, one time I do not so good. And then I think it was the third or fourth try, I reach 49.3rd percentile. So almost 50. And I was like, okay, can't stop here. And then I did it a couple of more times. I was like, okay, we got to reach. We're so close to the 50% we got to reach. And then the next one was worse. And the next one after that was worse. And I was like, okay, I guess this is not the day where I reached the percentile. It keeps worse and worse and worse. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to keep working on smooth sphere. I'll show you the results now for each exercise. And the feeling of progress was there. I was better than average, and in many areas, even a lot better than the average. After finishing all of that, I had a feeling of progress, let's put it that way. I felt really good, probably because I was better than average in many areas, which I guess meant something to me, coming from being really bad, like top or the bottom 1%, to becoming better than half of the people who tried this out. It's a good feeling. Maybe the competitiveness coming out of me a bit, actually being, oh, I'm better than these guys. I'm better than half the people playing. Not really, but the leaderboard says that, so I'm not going to question it. Yeah. But of course, some areas are still weak, which is why I want to continue doing this. Exercises that still require a bit of work, trying to force myself to improve more. I don't know if I'm going to be doing another challenge like this, but I will definitely do this from time to time to at least refresh my skills and try to play the game a bit more. And now that we mentioned the game, the finals, the best FPS in the last I don't know how many years, it's really fun, you gotta go try it out. Did all this training actually help in game? An honest answer is yes. I didn't become a shooting aiming sensation overnight, but there are noticeable improvements. I'm more confident in duels, I'm hitting more shots for sure, my KD has improved, and in general, the whole mentality towards playing the game changed. I hesitate a lot less. I'm willing to take on fights. I'm willing to do the more decisive plays, not just maybe hide around and hope that I don't get killed, or jumping into a fight head first knowing that I'm gonna die. If there is a gunfight in front of me that I'm supposed to win, I'm probably going to win it. And that's a huge difference than before I started this challenge. Winning gunfights is only one part of the game. Awareness and positioning skills are still a work in progress, which require me to actually play the game. So that's kind of my next step. So basically, aim is just one part of this whole finals puzzle, but it's a start. I think it's one of the basics. According to the leaderboards, I'm at least better than 50% when it comes to the basics. So I'm in the top half. Which I guess would land me in gold, I guess. I'm still silver though. And now to recap this whole thing, the whole 30-day challenge. It took a bit of discipline. Not just aim training, I had to set up the whole recording setup each time. So instead of 15 minutes, it took maybe more like half an hour each day. But I saw real improvement in my mindset and my approach to the game itself. So I would say that's the biggest thing for me. I feel better playing the game. I'm having more fun. And the progress was there. I'm more confident in matches. I'm more proactive. I feel like I contribute more, like I'm actually there. And my plan going forward with this is to just keep on playing, maybe do a bit of aim training to try and improve, but the focus is going to be more on the game, actually playing the game, having fun with the game. If I do another challenge, I'll probably stream it instead of recording it like this. If you want to see how my aim actually improved, check out my stream, subscribe. Either watch it here on YouTube or watch it on Twitch. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for watching this journey with me. I had lots of fun. I improved and I'm still having fun and even more fun with the game because of it. If you want to watch some more, if you want to watch me have fun, if you want to watch some, hopefully one day it becomes gold or diamond gameplay, just subscribe, hit that like button, and yeah, I'll be seeing you around.